Hello guys, it is me, Hayden Lettuce. We are making a video today that I've wanted to make for a very long time. I'm super excited to make it. Today we're going to be doing top 10 Mario Kart games. As you know, right now there are only 10 Mario Kart games. Actually, that's a lie. There are a lot more because of the arcade Mario Kart games, but I'm not counting those in this, so sorry for all the people who like the arcade Mario Kart games. Not saying that I don't. I've definitely played all of them. They're all actually really awesome, but since they're not developed by Nintendo, I'm not going to count those in this top 10 list, but definitely are an honor. They're definitely an honorable mention. And the last thing I have to say is I'm going to be ranking everyone except Mario Kart Super Circuit. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I've never actually played that game. I've played every other Mario Kart game, and I've played actually most of them, except that one. So I'm not really able to have an opinion on that. So I can't really tell you if I like it or not. And my top 10, this is not just like, it's going to be ranked on which game's most fun, which has the best courses, which gimmicks are the best, and which have the best battle modes. So, and also which are the funnest to play for me. So I've never played it, so I couldn't tell you. But I will be ranking all the other ones, so let's just jump right on into this. Yes, Mario Kart Tour. That comes in at my number spot for multiple reasons. For some reason, every time, in basically every single mobile game, it's pay to win. I don't know why developers do this, why they think this is awesome and fun. Well, it's because they suck money from people, and instead of a tour around the world, it's a tour around your wallet. And this game is basically just pay to win. As you can see here, all you do is buy things to upgrade your bikes with coins, which guess what? You can buy coins with rubies. Guess what? You get rubies by buying them. There's basically no other way to get a big chunk of rubies. You could do challenges, but they barely give you any, and then all you do to get characters and bikes or stuff is shoot it through a pipe. Hold down your finger and hope for the best. And if you don't get what you wanted, well, then guess what you gotta do? You gotta go buy more rubies so that you can do it again. But basically, every couple of days there's a new tournament or tour, and each tour has a different base, but basically all the tracks are just repeats that have already been in console games or just backwards. Also, one thing to note about the controls, I really don't like the controls because they're just so hard to get used to. I've played the game a lot, but they're still so hard to get used to because you're just drifting so much because there's only two different types. There's three. Motion controls, just normal steering, and there's drifting. And I choose drifting just because it is the best, but it's just so hard to control sometimes. And just the combination of pay to win and hard to control and not as exciting tracks, it's just not a true Mario game, and that's why it ranks in my number spot. Super Mario Kart, the game that started it all. You do gotta give it credit for that. But besides that, the game has not held up well at all. The courses are flat and mostly boring, the character selection is terrible, and the course names are somehow worse. One last thing, the controls, they are so bad. I mean, super bad. And that's why, mostly, it gets the number 9 spot. Welcome to Mario Kart! I'm putting Mario Kart 64 in 7th spot. First off, don't get mad at me immediately. Truthfully, the reason why I put this here so low is because I've only played the game once. And it was for like 10 minutes. And compared to the newer games, there's just too many flaws. Like if you turn too much, you spin out, and if you run into the wall, you just stop. Like, what? But one of the great things I do remember is the battle mode. And truthfully, I think this game has the second best battle mode in all of Mario Kart. Like, how can you beat an extremely intense game of balloon battle at Block Fort with your friends? I'll answer it for you. You can't. Well, actually, I said it's second, so I guess you can, but you get the point. Mario Kart DS. This is when the Mario Kart series starts getting really good. Basically, from here on out, there are really not any games that are very bad. These are all pretty solid games, and I love them all, except it was very hard for me to decide which one was going to be here, but I decided Mario Kart DS here. It is kind of unfair since it was a little bit older. Obviously, the graphics get better and better as the time goes on. But besides that, gimmick-wise and stuff, it's really, there wasn't too many new gimmicks in this, but I'll tell you that the tracks were all bangers, except actually one, which is ironically the one that we're seeing right here. It's literally just a figure eight, but so many good stages and courses. The battle mode is flawless, except the timer. I'm kind of with a couple of people who don't really like that you can't at least delete the timer, because, like, why can't you just have unlimited time until your balloons pop out? I don't know, but besides that, it is a very, very solid game, except the only reason that it's this low is because it doesn't really have any new gimmicks. And it introduced the blooper, and who really likes the blooper? Mario Kart Double Dash. Now this is a game with some pretty awesome gimmicks. Obviously, the main one being that there are 2 drivers per kart, which creates awesome madness and super fun races, more exhilarating, and the mechanics so that you could switch between drivers, and each of them, one of the other cool gimmicks, having their own special item, just makes the game even more fun than it already is. The drifting and controls are almost perfect, like they will be in basically the rest of this list. But the only reason I don't put it higher is because, yes, it is a little bit older and I haven't played it as much as some of the other games, which is why it ranks a little bit lower on my list, because I don't really have any nostalgia or ever really played it that much. But besides that, it's a ridiculously fun game with some ridiculously awesome mechanics, making it at my number 5 spot. Mario Kart Wii, the game that started it all for me. This game was my favorite game as a kid. I mean, I'm only 14, so technically I'm still a kid, but you know what I mean. This game was absolutely incredible at its time. The motion controls, everything was perfect. But ironically, the one thing that I loved about it, which changed the Mario Kart series up so much, the motion controls, now looking back, I don't like at all. Back then, it was a cool gimmick, you know, to actually be able to drive the car like you're driving a real car. But now, from a standpoint of, you know, actually, if you're actually trying to win and, like, beat your friends, it is just so much easier to use the thumbstick than motion controls. So that's why, now, looking back, I don't like it as much. The items in this game are awesome. The steering's awesome. One other thing I do have to note, though, and another reason I don't really like that much, is the drifting just wasn't my favorite in this game, because, like, the manual and automatic, I didn't like that much. I don't know, I just didn't like the steering that much in this game. But besides that, the battle mode was good, the racing was good. You do get pummeled with red shells a lot, as you see there. That was actually one thing I was going to say about how I feel like items were a little bit excessive in this game. But besides that, I can only remember the good parts. One last thing about it, though, back to the motion controls point, it's so hard to not be able to use motion controls. Like, there's no way to not use motion controls unless you either have, like, a nunchuck or a pro controller. So I feel like if this game could have been so much better by just changing one thing. The one thing they needed to change, the only one thing they needed to change, was making it possible to just use the joystick. But besides that, a nearly perfect Mario Kart game. But somehow coming in at my 4th spot, because the games coming up are even better. Mario Kart 8. Now this is where the Mario games, from here on out, basically the top 3 for me are basically all my dream Mario Kart games. Like, this was probably the first Mario Kart game where I literally think I could probably just sit there and just be like, wow, this is an incredible game. Because just look at it. Just take a second and look at how beautiful this game is. Just, like, straight up, it looks so cool. The drifting, the controls are perfect. It's perfect because if you do want to get that, you know, gimmick feel like you can actually drive your car, you can do that, but you can also just use the controller, you know, the little D-pad or whatever you want to use, or the thumbstick. It is so perfect. The racing, basically flawless. The biggest new little feature is the anti-grav, which is actually seeing what you're right now. Instead of, like, basically when you hit people bonking into them, if you hit someone, you actually get a special little boost off of them. You can actually glide in this one. This isn't actually the first one to be able to glide. That'll be coming up shortly. But this game, I have so many memories. I would play online. I literally, on my old YouTube channel, Diane Lattice, I used to post videos almost every other day, just constantly of me playing this game online. and I loved it so much, and I grinded out those points just like I'm doing on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe now. But it was just so fun, and the racing mechanics are perfect. But the only reason it's 3 and not 2 is because of the battle mode. The battle mode in this game is absolutely terrible. Like, literally, the battle courses are all just remakes of just courses that are actually real courses, racing courses in the game. And there's just literally no, like, there's balloon battle and that, but there's really no, like, new modes or new items for the modes. So that's the only reason that it comes in at 3 and not number 2. Okay guys, if I had to be completely honest, if someone gave me a copy of Mario Kart 7, handed it to me, and Mario Kart 8, and said which game is better by the standpoint of graphic-wise, gameplay-wise, I hate to tell you I would pick Mario Kart 8 over Mario Kart 7, just because graphics are better, character selection way better. But I don't know why, but I just love this game so much. I think one of the reasons why is because I guess I do have a little bit of nostalgia. I know it's not really possible because I am only 14, but at the same time, I played this game tons when I first got my 2DS with my friend Tyler, and we would have sleepovers, and we'd stay up till like 2 and 3 in the morning and just grinding this game online together, and I remember there was no lags, and we just had so much fun. And it's just everything they did right in this game. The battle mode is pretty solid. I'll admit that is the one part that it is lacking a little bit, just like Mario Kart 8. The battle mode is a little bit lackluster. But the racing, all the course selections, like, I mean, this is one of my favorite courses of the whole thing that you're seeing right here, Woohoo Loop. Like, just, this course is so amazing. There's so many different things to look at. You're racing around Woohoo Island. It's so good, guys. It is just so fun to play. This is one of the most fun times I've ever had playing a game, Mario Kart 7. I just don't have much more to say about it. It's a lot like other Mario Kart games I mentioned, steering near to perfection, but battle mode, that's the one thing that's a little bit lackluster, but still super fun. All the courses are bangers. Every race is fun. One little thing to note that is a little bit of a oof is the amount of blue shells that spawn in a game. It feels like there's 100 blue shells per game, but luckily, all the problems I just mentioned are fixed in this next game. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I literally have absolutely nothing to say. Literally every other problem I had with any of the games on this list in the past are fixed. Battle mode, absolute perfection done with the battle mode. It is so fun. I could spend hours and hours. I could make a whole video just talking about how awesome this battle mode is. The racing, absolutely perfect. Every course, an absolute banger. The items, perfect. Like, there's a horn. Yes, whoever thought of the horn, they need a pay raise and a gold star, because just, you cannot tell me it is not satisfying to be in first and have a blue shell coming at you right when you're so close to the finish line, about to get that first place, and you're just like, the blue shell wants to stop you, but you're just like, nope. And you just horn that thing, and you are just like, so excited. And also, I know this isn't new for this one because it was in Mario Kart 8, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had all the DLC automatically unlocked, and also you could play 200cc immediately. You didn't have to unlock it. And let me tell you, I played so much 200cc. The chaotic, fast racing is just so fun. I will admit it's really hard, so you do got to get used to it and use drift braking a lot. But it is just so fun. There is no other game in the world that can beat the fun multiplayer-ness of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. There's just no way you can beat it. And that's just why it takes my #1 spot. Like, it's just taken everything good from every other Mario game that I've mentioned and put it in one. And the only thing, I literally had to search far and wide to figure out one complaint for this. And my one complaint is that there's no special items. Like, don't you know how in Mario Kart Double Dash, I mentioned how each character has their own special item? In this game, there are no special items. And that's one thing that I thought would have been cool to bring back. And then one last other complaint is that you can't do double racing like in Double Dash, where you can't have 2 people per car. I don't want it to be in the full game mode, but I just had this idea, what if you just had a mode where you could do it like that? Like, what if you had a mode where you could choose to have 2 people per car? That would be super cool, because then you could get Double Dash vibes, and now you can carry 2 items, so it'd just be like total Double Dash vibes. And the last thing I have to mention about this is the smart steering, which is for any new players. You can turn it on, and then they can't fall off the course. And with that, that finishes our awesome, one of my favorite videos I've ever made. It was so fun for me to make. Top 10 Mario Kart games. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to smash the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye. First note before you leave, none of these clips that you've seen of racing in this video were actually done by me. I didn't race on any of these. I could have done it for a couple of them, but I just found it was easier just to take a random clip from the internet. Obviously, I didn't use big YouTubers clips because then I would get copyrighted, but none of these were mine. I just wanted to, make sure you knew that, because some of them were super good, and that wasn't me, and some of them were super bad, and that also wasn't me. So I just wanted to tell you guys that, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it to the end of the video, you might as well give it a like and subscribe for future awesome videos like this, and see you guys later. Bye.